Next presenter is Alisue. He is a software engineer who used to study biology in a postgraduate course. He has been using Vim about 10 years for daily work and is addicted to it. He helps people to make Vim plugin by development of Vital.vim modules, a Vim script library produced by vim-jp. The presentation title is Effective Modern Vim Scripting. Please start.
Okay, so do you enjoy this conference?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Okay, well, all right. Okay, so I'm Alisue, and I'm working on a Fixed Point Inc. as a front-end engineer and software engineer. And my Vim activity is I'm writing some Vim plugins, Vim and Vim, and I sent a patch. And also I developed a Jupyter Vim binding, which provides a Vim-like key binding in Jupyter Notebook. And I am a dark Vimmer. So what is a dark Vimmer? Vimmer who use dark-powered Vim plugin by the dark Vim maestro. So for example, if you are using Delpit, Denite, Dane, etc., maybe you're a dark Vimmer. Or Vimmer who use tons of Vim plugins. For example, I'm using the more than 100 Vim plugins. Or Vim user who use Vim because of Vim plugins. For example, file operation, I don't use terminal. I use Shogo's Vim filer. Refactoring, I use sync as QF replace. And Git operation, I use mine, gina.vim. So, how can you be a dark Vimmer? Fortunately, there's a tons of Vim plugins in the world. More than 5,000 plugins in Vim.org. And more than 70,000 plugins in vimawesome.com. That means potentially there are more plugins existing in GitHub. However, unfortunately, there's no best plugin for you because everybody uses Vim differently. Some plugins are too old, and some are new. So, how can you be survived? The answer is create your own plugin, right? So, today's purpose is learn how to create a Vim plugin in a modern way. So, this is the agenda. First, we will create a hello world. Then, we will create a real plugin, synchronous script runner. Then, we will create an asynchronous one. Okay, let's start it. Hello world. So, how to make a Vim plugin? It's quite easy. Create plugin blah blah blah.vim. This file is automatically sourced on Vim startup, as Bram said. And create outload plugin.vim. And add the outload function there. This file is automatically sourced when used. And add some other requirements, for example, documents, readme, license, or syntax indent after blah blah blah. So let's make it. Hello world. First, add the home Vim and make to your runtime path. Just add the set runtime path plus equal neural / Vim and make to your Vim RC. Then, create a home Vim and make directory with plugin and make Vim and outload and make Vim. Then you'll get this kind of directory structure. In short, just execute these 4 lines in your terminal. After that, open up the plugin and make.vim and write this content. The first part is a source code. It finished sourcing this file when G loaded and the make exists. And that variable is defined here. So this file won't be sourced twice, more than twice, I mean. And this one is a definition, command definition. This line defines a make command, which executes a make sharp hello world function. This is an outload function. And then open up the outload and make.vim and write this content. This is the outload function definition. For example, if the outload function name is a hoge, in outload foo.vim, the function name will become foo for hoge. This is a make.vim, so this function starts from a make sharp. And this function just echo the hello world. Okay, let's try it. Restart your Vim. Sorry, I need to explain this one. Don't forget to add the abort keyword. Because the default behavior of Vim, even an error is detected in a function, the function won't be stopped. It's quite annoying to make some plugin function or so. And this abort keyword changes that behavior as like other normal programming language. So always, please always put this abort keyword to the function. Okay, let's try it. Restart your Vim, hit the make, then you get the hello world. Congratulations! You made first your plugin. Okay, let's move on to the real world. Synchronous script runner. So let's make execute a script file synchronously. What does that mean? The command execute an external program and wait. Then open a new buffer with a result. It's a kind of inferior copy of Synchronous Vim quick run. How? First, we will write a function to invoke an external program. Then write a function to create a runner of a particular file type. Then we will add a runner to build a command to execute a script file. And after that, we will create a function to open a new buffer with particular content and tie up. Okay. So first, write a function to invoke an external program. So open up the outward I make process.vim and write this content. This function gets the args and return the list, the result list. And this first part is doing the enclosing the item of the args with a single quote. Because, we will use the system function later, but the system function just gets a string. So we need to enclose each items with single quote. Actually, it doesn't work on the Windows, but this is just example, so I just ignore it. And I made a slice in here because the Vim's map function is in place. They modified the original list. So I made a slice in here to make a shell copy. And hey, this is a lambda function, the new syntax. And it is just calling the shell escape for each items. Okay, let's try it. Restart your Vim, hit economic process called hello world. Then you get the hello world. Okay, let's create a runner. So open up the outward and make runner.vim and write this content. This is quite simple. First, this part, just create an outward function name from the file type. Then call it and catch the 817 because the 870 is raised when the function is not found. That means the runner is not found. And I will raise the exception with more user-friendly message. So let's try it. Restart your Vim, hit call and make runner new Vim. Then you'll get the exception, of course, because we don't have any runner yet. So let's make a runner. So open the outward and make runner vim.vim and write this content. This is quite simple. This function just return an object with a build args method. And this build args method refer to the s-build-args, this function. And this s colon mean is a script local. It is a kind of private function in other language. So let's try it. Restart your Vim and execute the same command. And this time, you get the runner instance. It's quite simple to add the other runner. So this is a Python one. This is a JavaScript one. Python one executes a Python, and the JavaScript one executes a node. And try it, run Python and JavaScript. That's a different runner instance. Okay, let's make a function to invoke a runner. Open up the outward, I make runner.vim, and write this function, this code. The first part, we use the runner's build args method to get the command argument from the file name and bind to this args variable and use it. remember, we already made this make process call function. So this output is a command execution result, and we return it. Okay, let's try. Restart your Vim, and first create a runner and bind to the R, and use it to execute a test.py. The result is something like this, args and output. Okay, finally, let's create a function to open a buffer with a particular content. Open up the make buffer.vim and write this content. This line, just open a new buffer with new command, and the buffer name is a given. And after that, just make sure that the buffer is a modifiable and delete any contents on the buffer and set line. After that, just configure local options. Okay, let's try it. Hit the call make buffer new hello hello. Then you'll get something like this. So buffer name is a hello and the content is a hello. Okay, now we got everything. Let's tie up. Open up the Orchard make.vim and write this function. And after that, open up the plugin make.vim and rewrite the command definition. First part, just make a runner for current file type. Then use that runner with the current file name. And create buffer name with the command arguments. Then open a new buffer. And this just calls that function we already defined in here. Let's try it. So when you hit the make command in, for example, Python file, you'll get something like this. So I call this make command in this Python file, import this. So this Zen of Python is shown here. Okay, congratulations, you got the real synchronous script runner plugin. So let's make asynchronous one. So make execute a script file asynchronously. What does it mean? It executes an external program, then just return, not wait. And open a new buffer with result once the program terminated. It's a kind of inferior copy of Vim quick run with a job runner. So how? First, we have to learn about the Vital.vim and system job and async promise. Then write a function to use the promise things and tie up. So what is a Vital.vim? Vital.vim is Vital.vim provides modern module system into your Vim script. It embedded module into a plugin, not like as a Vim script library. The end user don't have to care about the dependency because everything is embedded into your plugin. And it's quite easy to use. Just hit the vitalize.plus module to install or update the particular modules. And it also provides tons of useful modules. For example, date time. This code is example of the usage of the date time. As you know, date time handling is quite annoying. I mean, really difficult. But if you use Vital, you can convert the time zone with just 3 lines. It's quite simple. And also, Vital.vim has random module. As you know, Vim itself doesn't have the random function to make which can be used from the Vim script. But Vital module provided. The algorithm of the random is XOR shift and Mersenne twistor. And HTTP client. So you can get web resource from your Vim script if you use Vital.vim, etc. A lot. You can check it out. And fortunately, most of modules are well tested thanks to Vim Semis, one of the modern Vim testing framework. So let's try it, but from where? This Vim Buffer is one of the Vital module. It's quite simple. and this is an official Vital module. And it is a utility module for handling buffer. So this is an example. So you can easily open the buffer or with options. So let's use it. And first, you need to install vim-jp Vital.vim as a Vim plugin with plug Vim or pass add, any kind of things. Just install it. Then open Vim in the home Vim and make directory. And then initialize Vital.vim or Vim and make with vitalize --name make dot. And after that, tell Vital.vim to bundle Vim Buffer with vitalize dot plus Vim Buffer. Then Vim Buffer is embedded and outro Vital. So outro, Vital, and here, Vim Buffer is embedded. And additionally, dependency of Vim Buffer are also embedded automatically. So dict list or gal type, prelude, these kind of things. So as I said, end user don't have to care about the dependency. Okay, let's use it. So open up now your make buffer.vim and rewrite the content like this. The first part is import. Just use Vital, your plugin name, import to import the Vital module. And use it. Call sbuffer.open. And actually, to use the opener, I add this argument here as well, and pass to the here. I changed the function definition, so I need to change this make.vim run as well. So just add the opener here and here. And modify your command definition with nargs equal question and qargs. This nargs means that command allow 0 or 1 argument of the command. And qargs are expanded to the quoted argument. So what happened? Restart your Vim, hit and make vsplit will show the new buffer in what you call vsplit. So now you learned how to use the Vital module. Let's move on to the asynchronous part. Job. So Vim and Neovim have job feature. However, unfortunately, their interface is quite different. This is a usage of the job in Vim 8 and in Neovim. As you notice, the function name is different. Vim is a job and a start, and Neovim is a job start. And callback name is a different. And unfortunately, Vim doesn't have a job wait feature, so we have to wait arbitrary second to wait the job termination. And this is the biggest difference. Vim receives data as a string, but Neovim receives data as a new line splitted list. So handling is quite different. It is a bit annoying for me because I'm using a Neovim. But I would like to support Vim as well because I use Vim as well. So I made a system job. This is an external Vital module, not official. But it supports Vim and Neovim. And you can write single code, which works on both Vim and Neovim. So let's use it. This is tested on Windows, Linux, Mac. So you can, if you use this one, the code works anywhere. And also, I need to talk about the async promise module. This is the official Vital module. And this module follows spec of ECMAScript. So you know promise in JavaScript. This is it. And it also follows some other specs. And it works Vim and Neovim. So it's quite useful to use it. Okay, so let's use that system job and async promise to make the synchronous task runner to asynchronous. Open up the outro that make process.vim and rewrite the contents as like this. The first part, it just create a new promise instance and call executor in here. The path executor in here. And in the executor, make a namespace variable and call the job start function. with these callback, which bundle these variables. And these callbacks are definition is something like this. So on receive, just extend the data received. And when on exit, create a data here and resolve the promise with data when the external program successfully terminated. Otherwise, just reject. So now you got some function which execute the external command and return promise. So let's use it. Let p equal make sure process open echo hello. So this p is a promise instance. So you can register the callback after that. P then v execute echo blah 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 blah. What's happened? You will get this kind of result asynchronously. Okay, let's tie up everything. Outload and make runner, open up now outload and make runner.vim and rewrite the contents, something like this. Just return the promise instance. This one return the promise instance, so this result is a promise instance. And bind the args to promise instance because we would like to make a buffer name from the command argument. So we just bind the args attribute to the promise instance and just return it. And then open up now outload and make.vim. And this result instance is, as I said, this is a promise. So you can register the callback and here. And what they do is once when the command successfully terminated, just open a new buffer with std out. Otherwise, open a new buffer with std out and std error. So what will be happen? I said try it by yourself, but I will show demo. So this is a Python script. Import this and time 5 seconds. So this shows then of the Python after 5 seconds. So the previous synchronous one, the Vim will be stopped. But with the make one, asynchronous one, you can move the cursor. Of course, you can type it. And 5 seconds later, see, the new buffer will pop up. So you don't have to stop your work with this asynchronous task runner. It's amazing, isn't it? So now, you can make asynchronous plugin as well. So how can you step up? Visit http://github.com /vim and make this repository. I put all code into this repository, so you can custom it. This is a Meet license and forget, just custom it and learn it. And after that, visit http://github.com vim-jp Vital.vim. There's tons of useful Vital module you should know it. And also, my repository, Vital Whiskey. This repository has a useful Vital module for asynchronous programming. Okay, so this is the kind of finals, right? Take-home message. So today, you learn how to make a Vim script in modern way, asynchronous Vim script in modern way. So now, fall into the dark side. Okay, well, I would like to have some reclusion. And I'm sorry for English speaker, it is being the Japanese, okay? So, はい、アリセイです。ちょっと会社の説明とかをさせていただきたいと思います。はい、リクルートです。すごいビマー募集しております。現在、弊社ではすごいビマー募集中です。ビムの会社といってでは過言ではない会社となっております。ビムコンフ2017、2018のスポンサーをやっております。プログラマーの 45% がビマーです。うち 50% は Vital.vim 関係者でございます。マネージャーが VimConf2018 の運営をやっております。ここ過言ではないとは言いましたけど、別に社長にこれ許可取ったわけじゃないんで、話半分に聞いてください。で、残念ながら仕事で Vim スクリプトは書きません。なので、Vim スクリプトの腕に自信がなくても大丈夫です。 というか、Vim 使ってなくても大丈夫です。弊社、フリードリンクでございます。昨今、フリードリンクを謳う会社さんも増えてきていると思います。ただし、弊社、品揃えに自信があります。キリン一番搾り、アサヒスーパードライ、札幌黒ラベル、もちろんリクエストも受け付けております。もしも興味が出てきたら、弊社には、この会場には、弊社の社員3人が潜伏しているのでアタックしてみてください。もしくは、HTTP にアクセスして業務内容を確認するとしてください。ありがとうございました。早めに終わった方がいいですよね。押してますもんね。